Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I wanted to cover Nano Dimension, ticker symbol NNDM. As you guys can see, we had this insane run up. Definitely, I showed you guys my portfolio as this was going up, but now I want to cover the elephant in the room right here, and that is why did we pretty much pull back? And so this I think this is about a 45% correction, if I'm not mistaken. So if I can do that really quick right here. So yeah, about a 45% correction that is at its very low, and now we're sitting at about a 35% correction. So this is again a very healthy correction. This doesn't faze me. Again, if we did fall any further than that, that would be a little concerning. But again, we do seem to have stabilized just a little bit, and I do think that this is pretty much the bottom. A good buy-in point, just to kind of get straight into it, would be around or at least below this line right here, which is below 1250. So I'm definitely picking up contracts. I'll show you guys out of my portfolio. I definitely wrote this up on the first wave, took a little bit of profits, not as much as I should have, but that pretty much is the biggest reason I'm currently down. And then I bought on this second high because I really thought we were going to take off the second time. But regardless, why did the stock tank? Okay, the reason it tanked was because ARK Invest was selling off shares. I'm pretty sure that this just caused a lot of investor confusion in general. Like why was ARK selling? ARK was they held a 5% stake in this company and they kept on buying at every high that the stock set. So now why were they selling? And the reason is pretty simple, guys. They're not selling because they hate this company or they don't believe in this company or what they're going to do in the future. They're simply just trying to take their profits and move it elsewhere. They're trying to relocate their money. And so it's as simple as that, guys. I don't think it's a reason for concern. In fact, they'll just take a look at their spreadsheet right here. And so as you guys can see, Nano Dimension is still a huge player. Right here, if I can highlight this. Okay, so right here, Nano Dimension is at number 17 on this ETF. It was just at number 8 or number 9, I can't remember, but it was pretty much up there. It's fluctuating really rapidly because they're obviously adjusting the shares, and then at the same time, the price of Nano Dimension is fluctuating pretty rapidly. They still hold a substantial amount of shares within this ETF, the RQ ETF, as of the 24th of February, and they also hold some in, I think, the ARKW ETF. And so all I'm really saying, guys, is that there's really no reason to panic sell here, even though we've pulled back so far. In fact, I do think this is a perfect time to be buying more, at least in my opinion. Okay, so again, nothing I say or do is financial advice. This is just how I'm playing it and what I'll be doing, and I'll show you guys that in my portfolio in just a second. But first, just two things. Okay, first of all, the government is getting involved in the semiconductor business. Okay, they are signing executive orders to push forward basically the development of more semiconductors. We are currently in a shortage, and Nano Dimension could play a pretty big role given what they're doing right now. And so they can definitely pivot their business a little bit to accommodate for this new government executive order. And I don't want to get too much into depth into that because obviously that is pretty speculative and I don't want to say anything, but that could be a cause or at least a catalyst for this stock to explode. Another thing is that earnings are coming up right here. As you guys can see, it's on the 18th of March. We're estimating about about a loss of 4 cents per share. And so this, in my opinion, doesn't affect me in the very least. I don't think investors are expecting, as the analyst expectation shows, we're not expecting anything in terms of revenue, at least, great from this company, simply because the CEO of Nano Dimension clearly stated that they are right now just saving cash and conserving it for potentially an acquisition, but more so for when the economy reopens and they're able to advertise their products. And so really, when is that going to happen? Quarter 3. Quarter 3 is probably the best bet for the stock to take off, and that's going to be anywhere between April to the beginning of June. But moving on, let's take a look at my portfolio, show you guys where I messed up here. Okay, so this is actually, before I even get into this is something that a lot of YouTubers don't show, or they charge money to show. I never understood why, and so that is the main reason I created this channel. It was to show you guys my option plays and how I swing trade. I definitely, I definitely would appreciate it if someone had showed me this when I first started. It definitely would have saved me a lot of money, taught me a lot of valuable lessons just seeing someone else trade in their account. And so here it is, guys. Hopefully this does help you out. Again, leave me a like if it does, and let me know in the comments if it does. As you guys can see, I have some options here, some shares, and right now I'm currently down $4,000. Now, granted, I did take profits, a couple $1,000 profit, so this isn't just all loss from the single play. Now, this loss came to be for two main reasons. One is the stock price dropped from 17 to 15 to 14 and now to $11, and so it has been tanking pretty hard over the course of this month, and so that's pretty much the biggest reason for this loss. And the way options work, and the reason you don't see that same loss reflected here is because as you move closer and closer to expiration dates, so my next expiration expiration date is the 19th of March, the theta value actually increases. And so that negative theta value increases and I lose more money every day that goes by. The premium of the option contracts gets killed, especially if you're very far out the money. And so as you guys can see, this $25 call, super far out the money. And so taking a look at this $25 call expiring on the 19th of March, okay, if I just click on it right here, scroll down a little bit and show you guys, the delta is 0.849. What this means is I'm basically making no money for every dollar this underlying stock goes up. And so, well, I guess I am making about $8. But again, this number I would prefer to be closer to 0.65. And so as you guys can see, there's a huge discrepancy. And the whole reason that is because I'm so far out of the money at this point. This contract is for double the price of what Nano Dimension is right now. The only hope to save this stock is if Nano Dimension miraculously like doubles or something. This is why this is risky, and this is why you give yourself time. And this is also another great reason why you wouldn't buy too far out of the money. Obviously, when I picked these contracts up, Nano Dimension was closer to about $15. So a $10 lead from there, I was really hoping for that $21, as you guys can see right here, this line. I definitely thought we would break it the second time. And so that is kind of when I started buying that around February 10th. I picked up this $25 calls, hoping that it would, for some reason just skyrocket to about 21 because of hype. Obviously it did not happen. So as a result, I pretty much did lose all that money right there. Now this could be a lost cause, but keep in mind, I only lost $134. Depending on the size of your portfolio, this could be a lot. This could be very little to you. But this is definitely risk management 101. If you are buying short-term option contracts that are super far out the money, you better have some serious conviction about it, because if it doesn't work out, then obviously you will lose that money. Now this isn't yet a loss, like I said earlier. This is simply I'm down. It's not a loss until I sell or I hit expiration day. And so I definitely still have hope for the stock. I do think we can spike and I can sell probably at a loss, but I'm going to roll most of these contracts over to a further out expiration date, which I've already begun to do. As you guys can see, I'm buying in for now April and May, and so I definitely do believe that at least by then we could at least see a $15 Nano Dimension. So that is the play right here, guys. I don't want to get too far deep into this, but actually let me just show you guys this contract right here, the Greeks for this contract. So as you guys can see, this delta is still pretty low, not the 0.65 I usually want to buy. Obviously when I did buy it, it was around 0.75, maybe 0.65, and since then it has tanked. So these numbers do fluctuate depending on the stock, and as you guys can see, the theta is actually still pretty large for a contract expiring in April. But again, that changes depending on the stock, on different things. As you guys can see, the implied volatility is pretty high right here. And for comparison, Riot's implied volatility was almost 300%, so almost double this. And then a regular stock would be around $100. So you definitely are paying premium for implied volatility. It's the premium I paid when I bought this contract. And so as the price started settling down, that implied volatility dropped. And as a result, that contract was worth less. So as you guys can see, I bought it up here. And then slowly, as the implied volatility dropped, as the price dropped, as time went on, the contract became worth less and less. Now, obviously, I do still have a lot of time on this contract, and I'm very close to the money. And so this contract really only needs to climb about $4 from right here for me to be in the money. And really, once you get in the money, it's just a smooth sailing from there. All right, guys, if this video did help you guys out, I would definitely appreciate it if you could hit the like button for me, the sub button for me, turn your notifications on if you haven't already. I know it sounds very cliche saying that, but I would definitely appreciate it if you did gain any value from this video. All right, guys, with that said, take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.